Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm doing a Guardian Druid PvP guide. I played this a lot on stream recently as I discovered a build that I really enjoyed and a lot of people wanted me to make a guide on Guardian Druid. So that is basically what I'm going to be doing today. Starting off with Covenants. I feel like any Covenant could be good, but I feel like the best overall is Night Fae, and then I think Kyrian probably might be the second best. I haven't really tested Kyrian fully. I played it a little bit, but I don't have like the whole like Soulbind maxed rank yet. But I have seen a Kyrian Druid in Battlegrounds personally who is just an unstoppable beast. So I feel like it's a really good covenant as well if you're into Kyrian. But right now I would pick either between of those two. Night Fae being my personal pick because of the build I've been playing recently, which I'll go into. And that's pretty much my opinion on covenants right now. Now, let's go over talents. First row, Brambles. The other two are just not generally worth it. Brambles is basically like having Bark Skin up always, and it just basically attacks other people that are hitting you. So it's more damage, and I play Guardian kind of like how I really like to go just... I play Guardian like a super aggressive and like to damage people. Like, people don't expect a Guardian Druid to do a lot of damage. Because I feel like out of all the tanks, they don't really do as much compared to others. I could be wrong on that, but at least that's my opinion. And yeah, nobody expects a Guardian Druid just to rush you and have all this damage, and Brambles just adds to the damage. Next row is Wild Charge. There's just a bunch of good stuff about this. It's more mobility, it's easier to get away, you know, stuff like that. It's just your standard mobility spell. Next row, this is where I'm picking Balance Avidity. You can go Restoration Avidity if you want to, but for the build I've been playing on stream and that everybody seems to really like, you will need Balance Avidity for this build. And then the other one you need to work with it, which I'll kind of describe later, is Master Shapeshifter. Master Shapeshifter plus Balance Avidity is why I'm playing Night Fae. Basically, I'll actually go into the rotation more later in the video. I don't want to confuse everybody now, but Balance Avidity and Master Shapeshifter is what I'm playing right now, and I've been playing on stream, and it's my favorite build to play right now as Guardian. So I just want to put that disclaimer out early in the video. Next row is a Mighty Bash. You can go Heart of the Wild with this build if you want to, with the Balance Avidity build. The only reason why I'm not doing that is because it's a 5-minute cooldown. It does increase your damage by 30%, obviously, and it puts your Star Surge instant. But keep in mind, it's a 5-minute cooldown, so you probably won't get to use it that much unless, like, immediately at the start of the arena and all that. I don't know if it's really worth it, in my opinion. So, maybe on maps like Deepwind Gorge with the cooldown resets and all that, you could probably get advantage of this, but I feel like Mighty Bash is just better because you could get a Convoke and Bear form if you want, even if you don't want to go on Boomia form as well. So, Mighty Bash, in my opinion, is the way to go. Incarnation, I've messed with both Galactic Guardian and Incarnation. I prefer Incarnation right now. It feels overall way better, especially with the Legendary, which I'll go later into the video. Next row, either Survival of the Fittest or Guardian Balloon. I prefer Survival of the Fittest because Bark Skin, lower cooldown, is very, very nice. I have mine at 32 seconds, and I use Bark Skin offensively with my Legendary, which I'll go later into the video. So I prefer this, but you can use either of these depending on your preference, but with how long the cooldowns are on like Survival Instincts and all that, I definitely prefer Survival of the Fittest. Next row, I go Rend and Tear. With Incarnation, you're going to be spamming Thrash a lot in huge groups and reducing damage done by all those people, and it also increases your damage to them, is just a plus in my opinion. And that's it for honor talents. Regular talents. Now we're going into honor talents. As I said, Master Shapeshifter with Balance Avidity is the way to go. Because you're going to want to go into Boomkin form and pretty much cast Convoke when you have a chance. And it does a lot of damage. If you guys saw my Guardian Druid streams, it is absolutely crazy. But fair warning though, be careful when you use it because it really loves to go after pets or anything close by. So sometimes you can't even get full use out of it, but even if you don't, the mastery does make it worth it, as well as the extra health. So, because right after you use your Convoke and Boomy form, you're going to immediately want to go to Bear form. And that's my advice for Master Shapeshifter. Next is I use Demoralizing Roar because as this build you're going to be a lot more squishy because you're not running Restoration 50 for the heals. So having that extra reduced damage people do to you is nice because tanks do take some increased damage in PvP, just as a warning. So my personal preference is this is one of the honor talents. And then I use Overrun because obviously more mobility is nice in PvP. Say for example you have a hunter who's trying to kite you, and you don't have Overrun, you only have a Wild Charge. So yeah, you use Wild Charge, now you have nothing left to get the hunter, and you can't get out of bear form because you risk getting one shot. Because tanks again take extra increased damage, and all it takes is a split second for a guardian to get out of bear form, and you can get blown up. So Overrun is really nice. Not to mention, Overrun is also really sick at getting some knockoffs. I've done some perfect Overrun knockoffs on people, and it's very nice. Obviously, you have Typhoon as well, but having an Overrun as a knockback is really nice, and not to mention, Overrun does stun the target, so that's my personal preference. If you're not running the Balance Avidity Master Shapeshifter build, this one is a free open slot. I feel like I can't play without the other two because they're just my playstyle. But if you're not running the Master Shapeshifter Balance Affinity build, you can run either Toughness or Emerald Slumber or Alpha Challenge. Those are the other three I personally like when I'm not running the Balance Affinity build. So that's my choices for honor talents. And if you're running if you're gonna be a flag runner, obviously you can run a different. You're gonna have to run a different build, but maybe with Den Mother and stuff like that to help out your team. But keep in mind, the build I'm running is basically a huge Guardian damage build. And that's mostly for World PvP, randoms and stuff. So I just want to put that quick disclaimer as well. Bro, you really want to freaking go? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, I was not expecting a hunter to jump me in this video. Hold on, I can't even get out of it. I'm gonna wait a second before I see what he does. I don't know what I'm in combat with because apparently I'm stuck in combat. Anyways, hopefully that answers your questions on honor talents. Up next is stats. And stats, it's pretty much the same as Feral. You're gonna want to go Versatility, Mastery, and then since I have Necrolord Feral, I have Haste afterwards, and it helps quite a bit. And that's my personal pick for stats. Versatility, Mastery, Haste, Crit. Simple, straight, and to the point. I see the hunter up there. Hold on. I wonder if we can try a demonstration on the hunter for you guys. He would actually be a lot more helpful. Unfortunately, I am stuck in combat for some reason. I think it's because of the what's it called? The training dummies. This will be a perfect demonstration for you guys. I just have to do this perfectly though. Alright, got my Netomatic. Put it right here. We'll see if we can find this guy. Alright. Oh, this is I have a genius idea. See what I got? See what happens when you get out of bear form for a split second, but I had to catch this guy. And then now that I use my Convoke on him, I just come over here, pop my get close enough, pop Incarnation. He can't do anything to me. Obviously, we're fighting in the water, so it's gonna be a little bit rougher. And now we regrowth. Don't want him again. Don't want him to get into combat. And there we go. That's the hunter down. So that's pretty much a demonstration right there. That was actually perfect. The hunter just literally helped me out with my video. It showed a demonstration of getting out of bear form for a split second. It showed how much Guardian can actually really do with this build. So shout out to that freaking hunter for making this video a lot better. Anyways, that was stats. Tier. Up next is tier. You're going to want your 4 set. And 2 set is very important for this specific reason. I use Barkskin really offensively, because if you don't have Incarnation up and you use Convoke on somebody, watch for example, I use Convoke right here. Once I'm done with Convoke, I pop Barkskin here, immediately puts me in bear form. I don't like it immediately puts me in bear form. I don't even have to push it. And then I get that extra 4 seconds of spamming Thrash or Mangles. And that damage is huge. It is huge. And so combine that with when you're Berserk, you'll do cosmic damage. It was nerfed in PvP obviously, but it's still very, very strong. So you'll have that for an extra 5 seconds as well. Dude, this guy is something. Anyways, but yeah, so tier definitely needed, is very, very strong. I'm not sure why this hunter is not ganking this level. Oh, he's level 20, that's why he probably doesn't want to gank a low level. But yeah, so I would highly suggest getting the tier. Moral of the story. Legendaries, there's only 2 legendaries obviously I think are really good, and Legacy of the Sweeper is my number 1 thing, because when you don't have 1 minute incarnation, not 1 minute incarnation, 1 minute Convoke up, you will have Incarnation as your main burst ability. Not to mention you can't be CC'd, and against annoying burst classes like Rogues right now, which everybody knows how broken Rogues are, this is just amazing. And it does, not only does it make you immune to CC, it grants you 25% increased damage, 15% leech, and it's just, that is insane. So having all that leech, 25% increased damage, you'll be hitting like a truck. So, and then obviously the other one is your Covenant and Legendary. You can't obviously pick anything else, and that gives you the 1 minute Convoke, which is why this build is so good with Balance Affinity and Master Shapeshifter. And I already showed you pretty much how hard it hit on the hunter, so. Conduits. I go with Naya, and I got Conflicts of the Elements for the extra Convoke damage. Tireless Pursuit, so when you leave cat form or travel form or whatever, you retain up your movement speed, so it's more mobility. Regrowth and Frenzied Regen, you're going to be using Frenzied Regen a lot, not to mention it works with the Conduit, so you'll be getting extra heals from that. I got the Barkskin Conduit up because it lowers the cooldown of Barkskin, which I was talking about earlier when I use Barkskin offensively, because it'll give you 5 seconds of Incarnation if you're having the tier set, of course. If you don't, then don't use it offensively, obviously. But yeah, it's a very nice offensive spell when you have the tier set, when you don't have Incarnation up. Sometimes also another tip, if you think you're about to get stunned by a rogue, pre-Barkskin it, and he'll stun you, and it won't even work, and it's really amazing. I've done that several times, and it feels amazing. So just as a heads up, that's if you're running, obviously, Legacy of the Sleeper Legendary, and having the 2 sets, sorry. And then the last conduit I have is Savage Combat. Every time you mangle, it increases your damage by a maul by 28.5%, stacking up to 3 times. So when you use Incarnation or use your Barkskin with your 2 set and you spam mangles, you can hit somebody pretty dang hard with the maul. So just as a heads up. Hopefully everybody's keeping track. I'm sorry I'm all over the place, but hopefully I'm doing an good job of explaining this. As for rotation, it's pretty standard. Like I said, I start off with Convoke, and then after that, I either go Incarnation, but if Incarnation's not up, you can pop Barkskin, get your 3 Thrashes up for the extra damage you can do to people, not to mention 6% they less do to you, and then just get your Mangles, pop your Maul, you know, that's really all there is to it. Guardian rotations are really simple, there's really not much abilities to it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Incarnation to destroy people after Convoke, and when Convoke's up, and then I press Convoke. Also, just be warned on when to use Boomy Convokes. If there's like somebody with like lots of pets and all that, there's no point in going Boomy Convoke for it because half the time it always goes for the pets. So what I usually do, if I don't want to Boomy Convoke somebody, I will Mighty Bash them and then pop Bear Convoke. And Bear Convoke hits just as hard as well. So just be aware on when you want to use Boomy Convoke. If you don't want to use Boomy Convoke on somebody, just go Bear form, stun them, and then Convoke them. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully this guide helps you guys out. And I was going to go over PvP tips, but I pretty much went over the tips during the explanation on some of the stuff, so I don't really have any other normal PvP tips other than that. Yeah, let me know what you guys think of the guide, and I will see you guys later.